and everything else. Dusty, thanks for your time again. We've previously looked at the concept of who I am. Just continuing on from that, does that play a part in our ability to connect with each other?
Yeah, as previously discussed, who I am is important, and how we connect with each other, and how we are perceived by other people around us. It absolutely does play a part, yeah.
So who I am, you would say, is an integral part of that connection piece?
Most definitely. It's integral because I understand myself, and I know where I'm at in this given moment to work and come alongside you. Okay,
so with that in mind, I'm going to put you on the spot, but can you remember our first connection?
Yeah.
We've known each other a little bit then, but can you recall what our first connection looked like?
Yeah, so if my memory serves me well, we met when I first came into the union, working at the RFU, and a group of our colleagues at the time said, actually, John used to be in the Navy. And I can vividly remember sidling up alongside you and saying, hello shipmate, to use the term, for us to connect, so that we had a shared experience. And I think what I was bringing to the fore there was the knowledge that I had that you and I probably trodden a similar path and had similar experiences, and therefore we could draw upon those to connect in order to, have somebody that was like me with my experiences from before, that I could bring the best version of myself to this situation, which was new for me.
And again, in my head, I'm thinking, most people would probably have seen us in the room and automatically assume that the fact that we both worked for the RFU was the connection, whereas actually, as you just touched on, it was that naval connection. We never served together.
No, we hadn't. No, not at all. No. And what's interesting to me is how we as humans, we use those lines of connection subconsciously and consciously to help us and them and you in this instance feel comfortable.
I guess that understanding who you are helps with understanding the potential lines of connection you have with other people.
Yeah, absolutely. And what it does do is, it's because we've had a shared experience, albeit not together in the Navy. There is an element that you'll be able to share this will be a good guy because, or he's got this experience, or she's got that experience, and it helps us assimilate ourselves amongst a group of human beings, people, and join a team, as it were, as I did on that day.
Just thinking about it and our connection over the years, if my memory serves me correct, we've not always agreed on everything.
No, that's right, we haven't. And the interesting thing is about that, we have a healthy debate. Why we're able to have a healthy debate is because as part of our connection and our communication, we begin to recognise each other's foibles, challenges, thoughts, but they come from a respectful place. So understanding the intention of the communication is really important. And so I know that if there is a healthy disconnect between us, it's with good intention. It's about the purpose of the conversation is to make good. So we can disagree, but it's called healthy discord, I think some people would call it.
I know we've had some really stimulating and thought-provoking conversations over the years, which have probably increased that potential of not quite seeing eye to eye. But that's just a natural part of human connection and human communication, would you say?
Yeah, most definitely. And actually to have a differing view is really healthy. What we do know is that the divergence of thinking is really helpful to performance of individuals and teams and so on and so forth. So divergent thoughts, different viewpoints, different experiences really helps with human connection, and really helps as long as it's done in a purposeful and with good intention.
And that point that you've made there about being purposeful, human connection, things like that, what we're talking about now is that connection that people have had no training, it's not anything that's been developed, it's just a natural process that takes place.
Again, I'm going to say most definitely, it is a natural process that takes place as long as there is a healthy respect for each other and the intention is good. And that's the important thing, is about good intention. We've all been in conversations that have had bad intention to it, i.e. I'm trying to prove my point, and so on and so forth. And so when that happens, that's when the discord becomes unhealthy, if there is a difference of view and I'm trying to prove a point.
So human connections can be seen all around us, whether it's verbal and non-verbal, people waving at each other. What would you or rather, how would you summarise human connections?
The ability to come alongside somebody, to hear, listen and think with another human being. And so we don't just listen with our ears, but we listen with our eyes as well. And we get a sense of the feeling of those around us.
Cheers, Dust. Thank you.